Hello students, today we will revise the third chapter of civics, that is Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. So here we are again going to practice the MCQs and application based questions as well. Okay, so let's start. The first question, who is the head of the Council of Ministers? President, Cabinet Minister, Law Minister or Prime Minister? The answer is D, Prime Minister. Our constitution says there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at its head. So head of the Council of Ministers is the Prime Minister. Now who elects the Prime Minister of India? People of India above the age of 18, President, the ruling party or the members of the Parliament. He is elected by the people of India who are above the age of 18. Okay, remember, elected by the people of India, appointed by the President. Now the third question, which is the most powerful institution in the Indian polity? President, who is the head of the state, people of India, Parliament or Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister? The answer is D. The Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister is the most powerful institution in the Indian polity, which has all the powers and they govern the country. Question 4, who appoints the Prime Minister? I think I have already answered this question. Prime Minister is elected by the people of India but appointed by the President. So C is the right answer here. Now the fifth question, what happens in case of a hung parliament? And options are, President may appoint Prime Minister using his discretionary power. Leader of the majority party is appointed as Prime Minister. President may declare state of emergency. President may consult Speaker and Chairman in this issue. You all know what is hung parliament? When none of the party is able to gain absolute majority, neither they are able to form any coalition. So such a situation is known as hung parliament. Okay, because they cannot form the government. So in that case, what will happen? The President may appoint a Prime Minister using his discretionary power. So the A option is correct. To whom will he appoint as a Prime Minister? The person who can assure him that he has the support of the smaller group, not his own relative will be appointed. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. So here, the President can appoint a Prime Minister using his discretionary powers. Discretionary, once again, where he need not to consult the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. He can use his own wisdom to make decisions. Now the sixth question, again, this is a news article that I've taken. Smriti Irani contested the 2014 general elections against Rahul Gandhi in Amethi constituency of Uttar Pradesh. Irani lost to Gandhi by 107,923 votes, a 12.32% margin. On 26 May 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi appointed her as the Minister of Human Resource Development in his cabinet. Her appointment was criticized by many people owing to her lack of formal higher education. So now the question based to this news article is, under what circumstances can a non-member be appointed as a minister? Now Smriti Irani contested the elections from Amethi, but she lost the elections. She was not a winner. Even then she was appointed as a Human Resource Minister. How? So your options are, he shall have to be nominated to the Rajya Sabha within 6 weeks of his appointment. He shall be a trustworthy person of the Prime Minister. He shall become a member of State Legislative Assembly within 6 months of his appointment. He shall be either elected or nominated to either House of the Parliament within 6 months of his appointment. So what is the right answer here? D. A person, any non-member of the Parliament, can also be appointed as a minister, but what is the condition here? That person has to be either elected, this person has to be either elected or nominated to Lok Sabha or to Rajya Sabha within 6 months of his appointment. Otherwise, he has to resign. So any non-member can be appointed as a minister, but within 6 months, he has to be either elected or nominated to either House of the Parliament. Now the next question, seventh one. Which category of ministers decide the policies and programs of the government? You know there are 3 categories of Council of Ministers: Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State and Deputy Ministers. So who decides the policies and programs of the government? Is this Prime Minister on his own? No. What is the right answer here? The Cabinet Ministers, which is the first category of the Council of Ministers, which are the most trustworthy people of the Prime Minister, which hold important portfolios. So these people decide all the policies and programs of the government. They are the one who are consulted by the Prime Minister. They are the one who take part in the cabinet meetings. Now the 8th question. Who decides the salaries and allowances of the ministers? The President, the Prime Minister, Parliament and Chief Justice of India. So the right answer is Parliament. So members of Parliament, they decide their own salaries. Okay. So the Parliament decides the salaries and allowances of the ministers. Moving to the 9th question. How many members can be there in the Council of Ministers? We have talked that there shall be a Council of Ministers. But how many ministers can be there in the Council of Ministers? Is there any restriction? Or all the members of the Parliament can be ministers? So your options are, is the discretion of the Prime Minister. He may, if he wishes, he can make all 300 members as a minister. Or no restrictions. 12% of the total strength of the Parliament or 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha. So what is right answer here? D. 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha, not more than that. So only 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha can be the ministers, and this was done to keep a check on the jumbo size ministry, because I've already explained you the whole scenario. It was a time when the governance was not, when the government was not good for good governance. It was only just to come into power. So there was so many people who were appointed as ministers. So there was a right time when it has to be kept under check. So this was done during the government of our late Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The 10th question. Collectively responsible to lower house, individually responsible to. So this question is about Council of Ministers. They are collectively responsible to the lower house and individually they are responsible to the Parliament, Prime Minister, Rajya Sabha or the President. And the answer is President, because they hold office at the pleasure of the President. They are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. They can be dismissed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. So they are individually responsible to the President. Now moving to 11th question. Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman of, ex officio means out of duty, because he is the Prime Minister, that's why he is holding other position. Niti Aayog, Atomic Energy Commission, UPSC or Finance Commission. So your options are the third one only, none of these, first and fourth, first and second. And the right answer is D. Niti Aayog and Atomic Energy Commission. He is the ex officio chairman of Niti Aayog, that is National Institute of Transforming India, which was earlier known as Planning Commission, and Atomic Energy Commission. Now the 12th question. Who is the leader of the Lok Sabha and why? So your options are Speaker, as is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, President, as is the head of the state, Prime Minister, as he is the leader of the majority party, or Prime Minister as he is the head of the Council of Ministers. So the right answer is C. Prime Minister, because he is the leader of the majority party, that's why he is the leader of the Lok Sabha. Now 13th question, there is one assertion, that is a statement given. Prime Minister advises the President on various appointments such as governors and ambassadors. The reason that has been given under Article 75 of Indian Constitution, it is written, there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at its head to aid and advise the President. Now you have to tell that assertion is true but the reason is false, or both assertion and reason are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Both assertion and reason are true and R is the correct explanation of A, or R is true but A is false. What do you think? The right answer is both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Prime Minister advises the President, definitely, because our Constitution says that there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister at its head to aid and advise the President. All the appointments are done by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Now moving to the 14th question. Who administrates the oath of office to the Prime Minister? President, Chief Justice of India, Attorney General of India, or the Speaker? It is the President. President is the one who administrates the oath of office to the Prime Minister. And who administrates the oath of office to the President? The Chief Justice of India. Good, great. Now what is an official bill? There are different kinds of bill: money bill, private members bill, official bill. What is an official bill? Legislative proposals prepared by the cabinet ministers, legislative proposals prepared by IAS officers, bill prepared by the members of parliament other than the cabinet ministers, or temporary laws. So official bill are the bills that are the legislative proposals which are prepared by the cabinet ministers. Around 95% bills are prepared by the cabinet ministers, and they are given priority over a private member's bill because they are prepared by the cabinet ministers who are part of the governance. So for this chapter, 15 questions from my side, and I hope that will be helpful for you to prepare for your exams. Please share your feedback in the comment section and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.